Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome back to our Top 5 Fridays ski industry news videos. Pretty obvious that I'm here by myself today. I was trying to get somebody else in here with me, but just couldn't make it happen. But we'll get through this together, I think. Bob's down in Cape Cod on a family trip. Matt's out on a photo shoot. Emily is on her way to Colorado. But yeah, we're here to do the news. It is Cinco de Mayo. I don't really think there's much significance to that in ski industry news, but somebody just handed me this beer, so I thought I would address the fact that there's a Corona sitting on the table. So I don't know, happy Cinco de Mayo if you are the type of person that celebrates Cinco de Mayo. With that, I think we'll get right into the ski industry news. The Gran Becca speed race, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that 100% correctly, is back on the schedule for next season. If you remember, that's the Zermatt Cervenia speed race that starts in Switzerland and finishes in Italy, the first FIS ski race that will cover 2 different nations in a truly international ski race. We'll be back on the schedule next fall. I believe it's the first speed race of the season. This past season, it was canceled due to lack of snow. We had that super slow start to the race season this past year. So I'm really excited. If you recall, if you watch this show regularly, we were pretty excited about it back in the fall. So looking forward to that. And yeah, fingers crossed that we have a snowier start to the season over in Europe next season. Second topic of the week. This one is super interesting. I think this will be the third, maybe the 4th time that we've touched on this topic. We have a report that 99.7% of Tahoe residents voiced disapproval of Alterra's Olympic Valley development. Now, I think that title is mostly true, but not 100% true, and I will get into why that is. But we've talked about this development plan before. Initially, it was huge. They kind of scaled it back a little bit and resubmitted another proposal that was still pretty big but addressed some of the concerns. We now have a press release from Sierra Watch citing that 99.7% of submitted letters were against the development. So I think saying 99.7% of Tahoe residents isn't 100% accurate. They received 2,629 total letters. Out of that number, 2,621 of them were negative, voicing disapproval or displeasure in the plan. So that leaves 8 people, apparently, sent in letters that really want it to happen, or at least want it to happen at all, which is a stark contrast to 2,621. And every time that we've talked about this topic before, a lot of you guys leave comments kind of saying the same thing, like, don't need it, it's going to cause a lot of issues, please do not put all these giant new buildings up. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I feel like you would think that it would be hard to get past that type of just, I don't know, like lack of public approval. Like it'll be interesting to see what happens here, but I don't know if they can force it through. Do they need public approval? I don't know. Maybe some of you that live out in the area, maybe you have a better idea, but it seems like a tough thing to push through with that amount of kind of resistance to it. So very interesting, and certainly one that we will continue to watch. Third topic of the week. I was really glad my esteemed colleague Matt McGinnis put this in the week's news. Kimbo Sessions is underway. I think we talk about Kimbo Sessions every year. It is an awesome event. It's kind of piggybacking off the other kind of spring, end of the season events that we've talked about recently, in the sense that it's much less of a competition and more just an opportunity for a bunch of athletes and filmers to get together and do some really creative stuff. Put on by Kim Boberg. He's kind of a legend in the free skiing world these days. Still a phenomenal skier in his own right. And he kind of handpicks the attendees of this trip, and it's incredible. I think we've received 2 recap videos so far, plus like a slew of things on social media. So I won't go into too many details, but if you click through to the written article, Matt put in a bunch of links to different tricks and those recap videos. And yeah, even if you're not a park skier and you're not like super in this world, it's just such a cool representation of the progression and the innovation and the creativity that some of these young guys have. It's just so cool. And I think I don't know, for me it's refreshing. I feel like we're in kind of a new golden age of free skiing and park skiing where sure there's this whole like high-end competition side, very serious competition side of the sport, but there's also this like kind of grassroots growing movement of just creativity. Like your people are skiing differently now than even 3-4 years ago, and I just think that's really, really cool. So yeah, check out some of the Kimbo Sessions recap videos and other highlights if you have time and if you're interested. And then last topic of the week before we get into edits, of which there are plenty, we have the Last Ride project. This is highlighted by National Geographic. They posted an interview with 2 of the athletes behind the upcoming documentary, The Last Ride project. And this kind of started as, more of a focus on mountaineering and skiing the 7 summits. And since kind of the start of the project, it's turned more into the theme of ski the 7 summits before it's too late, kind of bringing climate change into the discussion and into the forefront of this documentary. So sounds like it'll be kind of split between mountaineering achievements, just like really challenging terrain and stuff like that, and then we'll also get a lot of information, kind of some anecdotal stuff on climate change and how it's affecting snowpacks and skiing. So I think that'll be really good. I feel like anytime National Geographic kind of puts their stamp of approval on something, it's going to be really good. And with that, that's it for the news topics of the week. We've got 4 edits of the week. And they're all really good. I love when we get these like really good weeks for edits. I don't know if everybody likes watching ski edits as much as I do, but yeah, it's just super fun. First up, we have On Scene Episode 3 from Teton Gravity Research. This is called In Search of Shika. I had never heard of Shika as a skier, but he is a very interesting person from watching this video. Really cool skier, and there's a bunch of really cool skiing and terrain in that video, so definitely would encourage you to check that out. And then we have, I think, the best kind of Swatch 9s recap video that I've seen so far, about 12 minutes long. It's called The Pinnacle of Awesome, which, like, what a great title. I just thought that was great choice of words for a Swatch 9s title. And then we have Mac Forehand with a few runs in Aura. I've said it before here, but Mac Forehand is quickly becoming one of my personal favorite skiers, so definitely would encourage you to check that out. And then lastly, boy, this really really hit home for me, really brought up some nostalgia. Excuse me. From Matchstick Productions, I think I'm going to get through this. Apologize for the cough. From Matchstick Productions, we have Origins of Free Skiing, the new Canadian Air Force from 6 Cents in 1998. Boy, it's just... If you're wondering if 12-year-old Jeff was watching this back in 1998, just glued to his television set, wearing out a VHS, then yes, that is exactly what happened. And honestly, the skiing in this little segment or in this edit, whatever you want to call it, that actual footage is a huge reason why I am literally sitting here today. So I was psyched to see that in this week's Top 5 Fridays. Definitely check that out. These guys were incredible. Vincent Dorian, like big Vincent Dorian fan over here. JP Alterra obviously too. He had those backflip mutes that were just like, it's crazy to think about it, how far ahead of their time they were. Like if you went to your local terrain park tomorrow and you saw somebody do just like a super stylish, tweaked out, laid out backflip mute grab, like everyone would be psyched. Like that trick has aged extremely well. So yeah, if you're not gonna watch the rest of the week's edits of the week, at least watch that one. Do it for me. And I think with that, we can end this week's Top 5 Fridays news video. Again, happy Cinco de Mayo. I didn't touch my Corona, I suppose. It feels like, would you agree that it looks a little naked without a lime? I think it needs a lime. I'm going to go find a lime, and we will talk to you all next week.